Hi and welcome to City Happenings. I'm Mayor David Black. Papillion continues to grow and offers much to its residents so they can live, work, and play. For more about Papillion, here's City Happenings.
Thanks, Mayor Black. The Sarpy County Chamber of Commerce hosts Women of Wisdom events. One recently dealt with domestic violence in the workplace. A local human resources director gives his thoughts.
I think it's very important and it's very timely. This covers the broad spectrum of relationships between employees and their partners outside of work and inside of work, because often if there's a domestic violence issue, an intimate partner issue, it spills over into the workplace.
Kellogg says open communication is paramount.
I think it is vitally important to have the conversation. I think it's vitally important for people to feel safe to have the conversation, and I feel it's very important to remove the stigma and shame from having the conversation. It's a reality in our world, and it doesn't get better by not talking about it. So I think forums like this, a little bit bigger, informational, a little bit removed from having a one-to-one conversation, I think that's where it all begins, and it really starts with the community and goes into the workplace and then into those connections with the employees.
Public events like Women of Wisdom further an uncomfortable but needed conversation.
I think to inform and educate, I think to have a meaningful dialogue with people, to let them know that this is something, as you said earlier, that impacts the workplace from a productivity standpoint. It impacts individual lives and it impacts the community. I think we're stronger together, and I think when you can have a dialogue, when you can start with a conversation, you may not resolve the problem that day, but you've opened the door to continual dialogue, and you've opened the door to say it's okay to talk about this, it's okay to work on it.
The Nebraska Rugby Association has been around for several years. Current coach Andy Turnbull explains how he got involved.
My mom's British and my dad was raised in England. So he's a Air Force retiree. So when we moved to Nebraska, we saw something on the news just about it was a Creighton men's team versus, I want to say it was a Lincoln men's team. They were just doing a showcase. And we met the old coach that actually coached for here, Mike Vinkovich, and he led us to this club. So my brother played freshman through senior year, and then once I was a freshman, I started playing for the team.
Turnbull really enjoys the sport.
It's fun. It's probably one of the most fun games I've ever played. I used to play football in high school. I stopped sophomore years because I stopped having fun. Whether it was coaching or it's just the game, I don't want to say, but for rugby, there's a position for everyone. Me, I'm a smaller stature guy, and I had the ability to do well on the field just because I found a spot that I was good at. You don't have to be 6'3", 250 pounds to play this game.
A recently certified coach, Turnbull's age is a benefit. He's not that much older than the players.
I think it gives a good dynamic. Kids can relate to you. One, it keeps me fit, keeps me going. But they kind of, I wouldn't say pick on me, but they like to get physical. The coach is young, because in other sports, coaches are usually 40 plus. I can get involved with the players, gives them a different point of view and how to learn stuff, how to intake knowledge from a younger guy. I think it's good for them.
There is an upside with rugby that other sports don't allow.
In football, you can kind of be left out. Let's say you're a receiver and you don't get the ball thrown to you, or a lineman, you kind of feel left out. All you do is block people. You don't get any glory. You don't get any touchdowns. Well, in rugby, you get to touch the ball. You get to play. You get to run. And it's a big team game because, there's 15 guys out there on the field. If one of you isn't, pulling their weight, there's going to be a gap. They're going to take advantage of it. So it's a big team game, and it's an individual game because you get to run the ball.
Sump Library frequently features children's authors and has them read to youngsters from local schools like Anderson Grove.
Anytime you can expose kids to reading of any type, whether it's their favorite books that they've read 100 times, whether it's brand new books, reading is such an important foundation for all kids, really. I mean, there's even research out there that shows if you start reading to your child, even, from the time they're born and read out loud, they're just going to become better readers. There's all kinds of research for that.
Getting kids to read is the key.
It doesn't matter what it is, fiction, nonfiction, anything, just as long as kids are reading. And any kid can find something interesting to read.
The Tall Tales with Mr. K author praises Sump Library.
It's a wonderful venue, and I can tell you that, you know, the Papillion Library here, and Kathy McMahon in particular, have been huge supporters of local authors, which we absolutely appreciate. And then to actually be able to do it in conjunction with an elementary school where, you know, they're exposed to multiple authors at one time is a great opportunity for everybody involved.
That's what's happening around Papillion. There are lots of ways to stay up to date with what's happening. You can find us on Facebook, follow the City of Papillion on Twitter, or even watch our YouTube channel. And of course, information about all of our departments and programs is available on our website, www.papillion.org. For more information, go to papillion.org or just call the Mayor's Hotline at 402-827-1111. Thanks for watching.